next level.
50, 100,000? No, what's the biggest level? 'Cause we were playing 20, 40. No,
40,
it stops. Right, it stops there, though.
Jack 7 for Huck. Perhaps Ali planning on a long match, asking about the blinds. He calls.
I'll check.
He and Sammy forcing Vanessa to exercise perhaps more patience than she had all tournament, waiting for them to complete their match.
Both players pair the jack on the flop. Vanessa checks, as does Huck. King of clubs on the turn.
Second overcard to the jacks. Vanessa's kicker out in front right now.
Vanessa bets 8,000. Huck calls.
Call.
Keeping the pot small.
Lucky 7 for Huck on the river. He now has 2 pair.
Check.
Check.
Vanessa checks. Huck bets 25,000.
Healthy sized bet. Almost the size of the pot, and Vanessa won't bite.
Blinds at 3,000 and 6,000. Each player started with 640,000 in chips. Huck with 7 deuce suited. Limps in. 5 tray for Vanessa. She checks. Inside straight draw for Vanessa. She checks. Huck pairs his deuce and bets 11,000.
Pretty big bet for just a deuce.
Vanessa calls.
She's by no means obligated to make that call because she's got the draw, Craig. She could let that hand go.
Check.
5s for Russo on the turn. She checks. Huck picks up a flush draw
First check.
and reluctantly checks. King on the river. Vanessa still in front.
She was hoping for a 4, not a 5.
She bets 15,000.
That's strange, Craig. I feel like the only hand that's going to call you when you bet 15,000 with 5s there is 6s or better. No arguments here, Craig. Vanessa definitely has surprised many people, except for herself. She's got a ton of confidence, more and more with each successive stage, but one piece of the puzzle left, Huck seed.
She limps in with pocket trays. Huck with ace deuce checks. $500,000 also at stake besides the title and a free seat at the 2009 World Series of Poker main event. Set of trays for Vanessa. Huck with the wheel draw.
Bet 8,000.
He bets 8,000.
Taking the lead in this pot right here, hoping to pick it up out of position.
Vanessa raises to 18,000.
Straight and flush draws out there. She doesn't want to slow play.
Huck calls. Full house on the turn for Vanessa. Huck checks.
He's drawing dead at this point. I don't see him getting past this card. He's just got ace high. He was hoping to hit the ace or maybe a 5 for the wheel.
Vanessa bets 50,000.
She's telling Huck she means business, but she also wants to make him suspicious here. It's an overbet.
Not suspicious enough. He decides not to chase and folds.
That's 2 out of 3.
Blinds now at 5,000 and 10,000. Our GoDaddy.com heads-up pocket cam shows us Jack Deuce for Vanessa. She raises to 20,000.
Stacks dead even right now.
Call.
Huck with 8-5 suited calls.
That raise to 20,000, the absolute minimum Vanessa can make it with the blinds at 5,000 and 10,000. That's double the big blind.
Check.
Huck checks the flush draw. Vanessa bets 25,000.
Just a continuation bet designed to represent the ace or the king.
Huck calls. Vanessa pairs her deuce.
Even though she's improved, it's doubtful she'll put any more money in the pot, and we see both players checking.
After check, the 10 of diamonds on the river.
This is where Huck needs to decide whether or not he can take this pot from Vanessa with a bet, and indeed he's made that decision. A bet of 50,000 gets Vanessa off her deuces.
Huck with pocket trays. We saw in the semifinal with Sammy how much he likes that hand. He limps in.
That is his magic hand, isn't it, Craig? 3 for 3 in the semis.
Vanessa checks king 4. Queen 10-5 on the flop.
No pair for Vanessa. 3 overcards, though, to Huck's 3s.
Check. Inside straight draw for Vanessa.
I'm a little surprised to see Huck checking in position after raising pre-flop with his hand. You'd think he'd want to take the pot right there.
No call.
Vanessa bet 10,000 and Huck promptly folds. Bullets for Vanessa.
3 antes.
She raises to 20,000.
Again, raising the minimum here, Craig.
King 6 for Huck.
When you keep a consistent raise amount, your opponent can't develop any sort of read on you based on the amount that you're raising.
Kings for seed. He checks.
This is going to be trouble for Huck. Top pair.
Vanessa bets 30,000.
He's edged by her aces.
Huck calls.
Doesn't want to get the pot bigger than it needs to be.
Set of aces for Vanessa. Huck drawing dead. He checks.
That's the kind of card that may save Huck some money.
Vanessa checks behind. Quad aces for Russo.
Oh, boy. If he gave her credit for an ace on the turn, it's going to be tougher to give her that same credit now that a second ace has hit the board, especially considering she checked.
After Huck checks, Vanessa bets 75,000.
That's a very healthy bet. Huck's got aces and kings with a queen kicker.
He pauses for a second, but does fold. She looks at 10-9 and limps in on the button. Huck with queen 8. He checks. Inside straight draw for Vanessa.
Check. Both players check.
Check, check. Jack, no help to either player.
Check.
Huck's queen high in the lead.
After check, check again, Vanessa makes her straight on the river.
But Huck has made Jackson 8s with a good kicker. He's betting 20,000. And you know Vanessa's going to put a raise in, but it's going to be tough for Huck to give her credit for 5-6 or 9-10 or diamonds. You feel like she would have bet that hand on the flop or turn.
She raised to 95,000, and once again, Huck makes the right laydown.
That's cool. I like your style, Vanessa.
You do?
Yep.
Huck with 9-7 limps in. Vanessa with
You're in the
8-7.
spirit of the game.
She checks. Trip 8s for Vanessa.
20,000.
She bets 20,000.
Huck's got the gut shot straight draw.
Huck calls.
He's looking for a 6.
Quads again for Vanessa.
Now Huck's looking for exactly nothing since he's drawing dead.
After Vanessa checks, Huck bets 25,000.
Call.
Great check call from her. No need to raise with the stone cold nuts.
Deuce of diamonds. Check, check. And Huck sees what he was up against.
Keeping things under control. That a little bit of a new direction there out of the big blind.
Queen 8 suited for Huck. He limps in. Ace 5 for Vanessa. And she'll raise to 75,000.
Follow the leader.
Huck calls.
Call.
Buck 50 up for grabs.
Aces for Vanessa, queens for Huck.
Both players catching a piece of the flop. Vanessa with the better of the two hands.
She bets 75,000. Huck calls again.
Pot up to 300 grand now.
10 of spades on the turn.
Check.
Check, check.
Check.
4 of hearts on the river. Vanessa bets 100,000.
A lot of players would have tried to move Vanessa off her hand on the turn, but not Huck.
I'm all in.
He goes all in.
He's going to try to move her off on the river here, representing a flush. If Vanessa calls him, he'll be down 1-0.
I mean, you definitely play like you have a better hand than I do. What do you limp with and then call my raise? I mean, King Jack, I guess. King Jack, you hit the gut shot. Or maybe you call me with 2 hearts on the flop. All right, give you credit.
Victory was just one word away, that word being call. Instead, Huck bluffs his way to the lead.
What, does he have water in his ear? What's he doing?
Our GoDaddy.com heads-up pocket cam shows us Vanessa's 9 tray. Blinds at 15 and 30,000. She raises to 60,000. Ace 8 for Huck. He calls.
Vanessa's being very aggressive here. You don't have to raise every button.
6-7 deuce on the flop. Huck checks, as does Vanessa. Ace is for seed. He checks. Vanessa drawing dead.
This is so slippery by Huck. He's going to allow Vanessa to represent the scare card, the ace on the turn.
After Vanessa bets 40, Huck calls 40.
She hates seeing him call there.
Meaningless jack on the river. Check, check. Pot goes to Huck.
So we're going all in. You went all in. I went all in.
One time.
I'm copying your
It's like
style.
I'm 1-4 here.
Queen jack for Vanessa.
All in.
She
Not
goes
2-4.
all in.
4. See, now you're copying my style. Got one good one.
King jack suited for Huck.
He's going to think this one over, Craig.
All right.
He calls. Let the games begin.
It's hard to call.
Huck loves this spot. He's got Vanessa dominated, in great shape to win this pot and the first match in our
That was
best
the
of
best I
3
could hope
final.
for, Ed.
That's the best you could hope for.
Not like it.
Here's the flop.
Here comes the flop. Ace 9-5. Vanessa in dire
Jack
straits.
still ahead.
She's a big dog here, hoping to hit a queen.
Here's the turn.
6 of hearts on the
Six of
turn.
hearts.
Just 3 outs for Vanessa to double up and
Here's the
stay
river.
alive in this first match.
Huck seed.
River
Wins
pairs the
match
board.
one.
Huck's king plays. First match in the final to
We get to do
seed.
it again. We get to do it again.
Oh. That was the best hand I saw in like 85 hands.
Really?
I got
You're
quad
being
aces one
cold.
time. I got those 2 aces in there. I had quads.
When it came
And then
ace,
since
ace,
then, it's like
king, or
nothing.
ace, ace, 10 deuce, or whatever, yeah. So
No, it's-